closing the magazine. Let's talk about it, but they're staying with us on the internet.
Thank God.
Stay tuned. It's me, Baxter.
And me, Jonathan.
The month was July. Hot, sweltering July. So this blistering magazine comes out, and it became the magazine of our childhood guitar lives, right? I mean, so for you young people out there watching, this is pre-internet stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
But we didn't have, you couldn't look up porn and things like that. You had to get magazines, and this was guitar porn for us through and through.
Well, you couldn't just go and be like, any song I want in the whole universe is at my fingertips. Someone's figured it out on YouTube, and they'll show me in slow motion in 7 camera angles. That wasn't a thing yet. You know what I mean?
This is where I learned how to read tablature, too, I think.
Well, that's when you really learn how to, whatever those 4 or 5 songs were, or 3 songs or whatever, because it changed, it morphed. But that's where I learned, all the early music theory stuff. I maybe didn't learn it, but that's where I found the word and then went and figured out
the starts of it for all of us dumb incubized guitar players.
Right.
It was a cool time, growing up in the 90s and stuff, and like this, you really want your mom and dad to take you to the bookstore, and you wouldn't be your local bookstores. It had to be one of the big box ones at this point, because nobody carried these in the local ones, your local newsstands, and I remember being at the bookstore and just looking through it for minutes upon minutes, 30 minutes, and they're oh, can I get this? And then they're gonna spend the $4.95 or $5.95, whatever it cost. Then eventually start coming with CDs.
Dude,
it's game on. But anyway, this chapter is closing. Why is this closing?
Because no one cares anymore.
No one reads print anymore. We have a local small newspaper, independent, not small, but it's called The Pilot, and we have journalists from all over the world actually come by to interview them, because it's such we've had multiple ones from Germany, from London, because it's such a phenomenon to have a small publication that is in print still.
Right.
And Guitar World has been doing this for a long time. Gosh, 40, 30, geez, that's a long time. Super old.
That's a long time.
Ages us all, sorry. But it's a time that people aren't subscribing anymore.
No.
Those days are over. Subscriptions are gone. All the ad sales, ad revenues, that's how magazines survive. They have now transitioned into the digital marketplace. It would be funny to be one of the old ad sailors, as digital starts coming in and you don't really understand what's happening. She's like, what are you talking about? That's just a fad. It's the magazine we hear.
But I mean, it's so funny because you and I were talking about this morning with Derek and Sean, and there's so many things, even in the ads, that I learned about. That's probably where I first saw about Taylor guitars, was in the ad of a Guitar World magazine.
Because you never seen a real Taylor guitar.
No. There was a thing. I was like, wow, Taylor guitars. One day I'll get to play one of these maybe.
Side note, if you haven't played a Taylor baritone, that's the one that's got my cat whistle whiskered. That's not a phrase, but I'm making one. Get your cat whistle whiskered. It's the 50th anniversary one. We got one in the shop the other day. I haven't thought about keeping a shop guitar in a long time. It was it's really, you should play it later.
A little litmus test. I played it for a minute.
I was like, God.
It was really fun.
I might like it more than the 8-string, and just because it's simple.
Probably.
The 8-string's cooler, but anyway. Yeah. But this was where we first were exposed to these brands.
All that stuff like that.
Because even a Martin, I never seen a Martin in real life at a store. You'd see the ads. Who's left? Guitar Aficionado sort of went away, but I think they might be coming back in print as well, and digital. But that's more for the cigar.
There's that, right? And there's the vintage guitar one. There's acoustic guitar. The big ones for me were always Guitar World and Guitar Player.
Guitar Player had John 5 and all and that's now, but
there was one from the UK, and I can't remember what that one was, but
that's the one I would always still buy. Sometimes I don't do it anymore because I just don't have that fire as much because I'm old and sad. But there's that one's fun.
Yeah,
that one's really good. It's $18.
I know,
which stinks for a magazine. Oh,
but you got the little DVD or the CD, and you got all the stuff, and all the they'd have the special editions like the Stevie Ray Vaughan edition.
The problem is finding a place to play your DVD or CD now. Those sort of things are gone too, and that's sort of the nature of this. But this magazine survived a long time.
Yes,
a long time. It has sort of launched some rock stars, almost launched some guitar heroes, but if you're going to be a Guitar Hero, you have to be on the cover of this the same.
Well, I mean, I know this isn't really the point, but there are a ton of guitar players whose music I didn't really listen to. I didn't know who they were, and then they would consistently, be in Guitar World, and so suddenly I was like a fan. You know what I mean? Like, all sorts of players. John Jorgensen's a good example, right?
Yeah.
Like, I would have no idea probably who John Jorgensen was without those magazines.
Or if you're Gene Simmons, you would have no idea who Johnny Marr is. But that's a whole other story.
Apparently anyone. According
to Gene Simmons. Just look up the article. It's out there. It's funny. It's good. It's good, like comedy fodder. That's what we're here for. Some good humor and some information along the way, hopefully. But no, I even think about all the publications out there. I still like a physical, tangible thing.
I do too.
Like NME, the British publication as well, or that's New Music something. I think they are always, whenever there's an article or a cover of Oasis, I'm like, I got to get that. I haven't read everything about Oasis. There's one more thing I have to learn about them, apparently. Even though it's, how to get that tone. It's
one day you'll know what a Wonderwall is.
That's what Travis never figured that out either.
One day.
Or The Man Who, great record, by the way. Travis is fine. If you haven't listened to Travis, The Man Who, phenomenal British sort of pop rock record.
Pretty good.
The early, I think it's like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, it had to be in there.
It's right around there. Anyway, so they're going to shutter their publications. This part stinks, and I hate when anything changes like this, but I think it's probably the wise choice here.
Yeah, probably so.
I haven't bought a Guitar World magazine in years.
Me neither.
I know, so I do read it online. I'll scan through it. I kind of go quickly. I sort of see what the articles are. I like to look at it every day, see if there's something I'm missing.
Yeah, sometimes I watch their the YouTube videos and stuff. But
Well, let's get into the deeper, darker side of this now for a minute too. The humor is now over.
Dun, dun.
Let the sleeves roll up.
This is the real journalism.
So you've waited so long. We wait till later, just kind of like the main.
That's right.
Medias do now. No, well, just thinking on a little bit. It's so there's lots of reviews in these magazines too, and I've noticed over the course of the years, they're almost always good.
What do you mean?
Every review is really positive.
That's because all the products are amazing now, Baxter.
Okay. And I've also noticed that there's lots of advertisements from said guitars being reviewed.
No. Coincidence.
From every major manufacturer. So it's always been this song and dance, but it's gotten sort of more clear, I think, lately. It's like, well, if we want you to review our new product, here it is. We're also spending X amount on advertising dollars with you. I hope you enjoy the product and advertising dollars along with it. It's tricky, but I've noticed it more readily in some of the, and there's the Copycat Publications that sort of copy. We don't want to say their name.
I mean, I do want to say their name.
It looks just like it.
There's the one on Facebook that pops up all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, you can't. I don't know.
It even looks just like it. I mean, they know.
The same.
You guys know.
It's really funny.
It's weird. It's like they just copied this. Strange.
I mean, that's part of where the ability to trust maybe sometimes too. Like it's hard. Because I'm big into reviews. I like IGN, the video game reviews. But sometimes I was looking at the Star Wars Outlaws reviews. Had to be clearly part of this whole Ubisoft and Disney payout and whatnot, just because that game is terrible. And they're saying it's a 7. I'm like, then what is a 5 then, my friends? If that's a 7, that game looks like it's 20 years old.
I mean, we've talked about this before with gear reviews on YouTube. It's sort of at this point better when they just say, here's what it does, here's the features. It's almost better if they don't give an opinion, right? Like there's no 7 or editor's pick award or any of that junk. Just tell us, here's this new thing, here's what it does pretty well, here's what it maybe doesn't do so well.
But I like the reviews.
Might be.
I want to see. I like when you get I like when I see a 9.2 or an 8.5, or then all the negative parts that are inside all of us also like when there's a 4.
Crazy. But I mean, there's probably things that have been 4s that I've enjoyed. And things that were like 9.2s that I'm like,
Well, there's movie reviews too. They go back to some of I remember Siskel and Ebert. Who remembers that? I mean, it's the same vintage as Guitar World.
4 thumbs up.
They've given a thumbs down or something, or average score to movies that have now become cult classics.
Right.
I mean, It's a Wonderful Life was panned. They weren't alive when that came out. But that was not a hit. That was pulled from the theaters soon, and it became a Christmas phenomenon later. Kind of cool, right?
It's cool.
I love those stories. I think like Pulp Fiction might have even gotten like a bad review or something, which is now it's considered one of like the greatest movies in like sort of our cinema world. No, it's tricky. We even live in the same. We point the flags at us too. Like, you know, we're guitar sellers.
Yeah.
And we love to live in the universe of YouTube, but we have to be careful because we have direct relationships with all these manufacturers. We deal with, you know, a fiduciary and like a personal relationship. Because like I'll get a phone call like when and we've said some things too where I've gotten phone calls from friends like, hey.
What did you mean?
That was exactly the. What was your point? What was the meaning of this? I'm like, Then I have to be like, all right, let me break it down for you. Then, but if most manufacturers have been really cool with it.
Yeah.
Well, this happened with Fender once, and it happened a long time ago with the Acoustasonic with one of their umpteenth itinerations, and like the head of sales at the time called me, and we had a great conversation. He was really cool when I explained my points, and I got his points too. He was never like, take the video down, or he was like, I get it. That's actually a good point. You know, it was neat. Neat's a weird word in like the world of business and YouTube and. Neat. But that's what. But I had a relationship with this gentleman who's no longer with the company, unfortunately.
And that's a neat little way that, as a shop our size, outside of that, we'd never have a way to have a direct, maybe slight, tiny, infinitesimal, you know, influence on how Fender maybe thinks about a thing. But that gives us a little bit of license to do that.
I like learned that most of the there's someone at the manufacturers watching all of these, and that's okay. That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
You know, keeps us honest, keeps them honest. Hopefully too. That's the idea, and we have a little fun with it. And we're friends with pretty much everyone, every company. But that's like we have to do that, and like we've done. You know, if there's a glaring thing we hate, you're going to hear about it. Like it's like, you know, if it's just lukewarm, you probably won't see anything. But if we love it, you're definitely going to see it.
Sometimes absence speaks. The silence. Wow.
But then that goes, like, you know, Guitar World's had to compete with, you know, the advent of YouTube has changed everything because now there's all these independent people like us. We're not a major publication. We're a small independent run guitar shop that happens to have a cool, silly, ridiculous YouTube channel that happens to have idiots that work here all together and hang out and talk about music all day. That's changed their whole bread and butter system of ad sales and how the manufacturers look at them, because now they'll send their guitars out to all the reviewers from shops and us. We have to buy ours, but the reviewers will get them for free. And if those reviewers don't do somewhat positive reviews, the review train ends.
It might dry up a little bit.
The well dries. It's like, and we've heard like, no, it doesn't. I'm completely transparent, and I get it, man. We're in the same place. We have to be. It's like it's part of the deal. Like you can sometimes when you get to a level of like, you know, Paul David's. You can say whatever the heck you want to. Like he's in the finer end. That's like, it's fun to watch his stuff. Like he did a great thing on the Acoustasonic. That's one. That was a great video. You know, like it gave it like sort of a thumbs up. Not for him, but maybe for you. That was a cool. I remember that one years ago. 3 years ago.
Yep. That was, gosh, yeah.
It's just funny to have a video that you remember.
Right.
You know, because I thought the production of it was he did a great job on that one.
There's a handful like that I can recall.
So that's part of the ecosphere of where these magazines started. It's like the same time when people were traveling around selling phone book ads for the back, you know, like Yellow Pages phone book ads. And I remember that.
That's true.
Frank, I remember Frank across the street, who works at that independent newspaper. You know, he was doing that for a little bit too. Like this, you know, 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
It's changed that much. This is not just since 1980. Back in those days before anyone was live, it's happening rapidly. And it's changing every day. And it's kind of fun.
It is kind of fun.
See what happens. Those are my 2 cents.
I like it.
You got anything else?
I think that's about it.
I think we kind of nailed it.
I'm going to go look through all my old Guitar World magazines.
I still have some.
Hopefully the values are going to skyrocket. They're not.
They're worthless. I think it's my parents probably. My mom saved everything. She probably has some of my old guitar magazines.
I didn't save all of them, but I have a handful of issues that stay in my she shed, as you call it. You know, that I just think
I remember my mom finding my adult magazines at one point in my younger lady. This was when I was, you know, and she
you know, like jazz guitar.
Yeah, adult. But she put them and she organized them for me according to month. I was like, that was really kind of you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, there you go.
But, I think that's
Great.
it.
Fantastic.
Click like, subscribe.
The bell.
Don't forget the road to 100,000. We just gave away some cool Fender Mustang Micro Minis.
It's true.
The ones I hope it's already been delivered to our gentle kind. I packed one up personally. It was fun.
There you go.
A little box and everything. I had a good time doing it.
GS Mini giveaway going for this month.
That's coming up soon. We're gonna have a whole video on that, so stay tuned.
That's right.
Gotta follow. Live streams, gotta click every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern. And we gotta click like, subscribe to the video that it comes out on, and you enter to win. You gotta comment too.
Comment.
Jinxed. Thank you. Peace be with you. We'll see you guys soon.
Goodbye.